It's frustrating, and just hoping our politicians could come together and not act like children.
I didn't even get a text message to let me know that my flight was canceled. So, yeah, it's very frustrating.
So the travel misery continues for millions of flyers as the shutdown's impact ripples through the skies. And we're already seeing hundreds of delays. It's not even 7 a.m. Could be more cancellations coming today as airlines are expected to increase cuts by 6% at 40 of the nation's busiest airports. So just yesterday, more than 9,000 delays and some 2,400 cancellations. That's the FAA cancellations, that's the weather, but either way, it was one of the worst days for air traffic control since the shutdown began. All right, I want to talk more now with about the president, who's been threatening to dock air traffic controller pay if they don't show up for work. And then he also wants a $10,000 bonus for controllers who worked through the shutdown.
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace. I always get the money from someplace regardless. It doesn't matter. Some of them showed up early because they knew there was going to be a problem. Those people should be rewarded.
Joining me now to discuss, Harvey Skolnick, a retired FAA air traffic controller. Good morning, Harvey. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Great to be here with you again.
I want to get your reaction to the president's comments, and there's two things to unpack there. One, he says that he should that they want to reward the people who stuck it out and who showed up, but they also want to dock the pay of the people who didn't or who called in sick. What do you think when you hear that?
Well, it's pretty sad. First of all, docking people, I'm not sure how he could even do that. Rewarding people, what happens to the people who couldn't come to work one day because their child was sick or something, and so they had to call in sick, so they're not going to get the 10,000, but the other people who were fortunate enough to be able to show up every day, they're going to get it. So that could cause friction in the workplace. And one thing about air traffic control in towers and trade cons and centers is that it is a teamwork operation. It is one that maybe the individual techniques in getting the job done are a little different and a little unique for each person, but in the end, it's kind of like a jazz combo. It comes together and fits. You don't want that to be destroyed.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Okay, so this is still a big mess with air traffic control. So it looks like President Trump is proposing $10,000 bonuses for those air traffic controllers who actually came to work, and threatening to dock pay for those who didn't come to work, which I don't agree with. I mean, you definitely can give an extra incentive to those who was able to come to work, but yeah, this retired FAA air traffic controller, Harvey, he hit it right on the head. It can cause a lot of discourse within the workplace. It can cause jealousy, and it can be really bad because it sounds like this is like a in the areas that they work in. Of course, they have to be a tight knit group because they're a part of communicating with airplanes and making sure airplanes are on the right routes and able to navigate, through the skies and things that in and out. So, yeah, I think that'll be a real bad move. Kind of, it'll be a real divisive move. And like I said, I agree with getting the 10K bonuses for people who actually came and took their time to work through the shutdown, because of course that takes a lot of effort, but everyone wasn't in that situation to where they was able to do that. So, you definitely don't want to punish those who couldn't make it to work because it could be a million reasons why they couldn't make it to work. And then again, a lot of people just don't want to work for nothing. A lot of people have kids, as he said, the kids could have been sick, they could have been sick. So it's a million reasons why, certain individuals couldn't, wasn't able to come to work. And I don't think it's something that, we should hold them accountable, especially when their jobs and their pay was being held up by decisions that wasn't of their own. Let me see what else I have here.
Shutdown is having a major impact on our air travel across the country.
And even with an end to the government shutdown in sight, the widespread travel delays at airports across the country are expected to continue. Local 10's Ross Ketchke is live at Reagan National Airport with much more on this sort of domino effect, Ross.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. The House of Representatives is supposed to take up that deal to end the government shutdown as early as tomorrow. But Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says even with full funding, it's going to take some time to get the air traffic control system back up to full capacity.
I'm exhausted. I am tired. I am mad.
The government shutdown could soon be over, but frustration for stranded passengers is just beginning.
We have some controllers who are put in a very difficult position.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says more than a dozen air traffic controllers are retiring every day. Since the start of the shutdown, the FAA has reported more than 600 short staffing notices at towers across the country. Duffy warning it will now take time to get air traffic control back to full capacity.
So, as you just heard, being short-staffed, that's a lot of stress and overwork on those who did come to work. And just imagine, some days there may not be anyone up there in the air traffic control towers to help guide the airplanes and communicate back and forth with the pilots. It seems like this right here is going to have a lingering effect even after the votes are done, because it does take time to kind of get everything back going to normal. Like, I'm sure people will have to see a few of those paychecks deposited before they are so quick to get back to work. And it just goes to show you how important these jobs are, and the people that do them. It's very important. It helps us here in America get around and make sure that these planes are moving safely through the air and not crashing into each other. So, yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. And then they were saying that it was going from 4% to 6%. And then it's so many delays. It's starting to get, like, the number of delays is starting to get outrageous. Let's see what else they have to say here.
I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away.
Today, air traffic is scaled back by 6% at 40 major airports nationwide. By Friday, that's expected to increase to 10%. The move intended to take pressure off those controllers who missed multiple paychecks since the start of the shutdown.
We're going to start to alleviate the restrictions that we're at 6% now. We'll alleviate that only when the data says we should.
The Senate-approved deal to reopen the government includes guaranteed back pay for federal workers, including FAA staff.
We're going to be opening up our country.
President Trump also floating a $10,000 bonus for controllers who've stayed on the job despite missing pay. But Duffy warning air travel will not immediately snap back to normal.
It is their jobs and they will be paid, but it might not be immediate that they come back in.
And according to the data tracker FlightAware, there's right around 1,500 flight cancellations coast to coast today. Believe it or not, that's actually an improvement compared to what we've seen the last few days in air travel. Just about 50 of those cancellations are split between Miami International Airport and Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport.
And Ross, we know that the Senate passed the plan to end the government shutdown last night. The House still has to vote on that. But how quickly could we see the government reopen?
Yeah, Calvin, things are already in motion on that front. A House committee vote is expected in just the next few hours over on Capitol Hill. That will tee up a vote that appears to be happening likely tomorrow evening for the full House on ending the government shutdown. From there, the bill can be sent to President Trump's desk for a signature that would end this record-setting government shutdown. Live at Reagan National Airport.
Well, hopefully they get that vote done pretty quickly, and hopefully President Trump can get it signed quickly, and the quicker the better, because as they're calling, it's going to take some time. People have missed multiple paychecks, so they'll have to start seeing some of that money get deposited into their account before things actually get back to normal. Yeah, so we'll keep everyone updated on this. I'll continue to give commentary on it because it's very interesting to me. as far as what's going to happen with all this, and just the snowball effect that this shutdown has had on certain industries is very interesting. So if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.